Hi folks, well this is Miguel from Embargo Man. So the last time I have done a video about NBA franchises, about I did a video about an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I mean, I know it would be like this, but I will just do it on my own. If I could say, if I want to buy a team, I mean, folks in Toronto, you should not get pissed off because of this. I am saying, if I get 1,000 subscribers, I might just move a team away. But then, theoretically speaking, or just saying, the list of teams that I have for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is right here that I wrote in that what I think or my top 5 on the list, and what teams would it be. I mean, I might just be talking about 3 teams moving away. Because the last time I did something about the Raptors. I mean, what it is this: if the NBA would just rather have some decision-making process of expanding of their teams, because I heard some team called the Huskies from Toronto, right? So what it is bringing back the Huskies name and then bringing a team to the City of Steel, right? I have never been there, but I have known some 2 beautiful women who are YouTubers who are from there. Eventually, speaking out of all of this, now I certainly have some names. The names that the people came up with this, and I see some videos about this, and some guy in this here in the state of Florida saying, but there's the list that I mean there's gonna be some teams. There's 2 teams that will not change their names, but there is 1 team that might change its name. Well, the only 2 teams that will never change their names, after all, would be one located in Canada, in Toronto that is, and one in New Orleans that also might not change its name. Why? Because probably Charlotte would be the only team, is the only one that will end up with the name change. Just Charlotte. And talking about the Hornets when they are in Charlotte, then they took it away. They went to New Orleans, and then all of a sudden they changed back to the Pelicans. Seattle wants their Sonics back. Probably the Kings to be we call Sonics. Who knows? Maybe the possibility of the Sacramento Kings might move to Las Vegas, and it will be called the Las Vegas Kings, right? And that's just my opinion that I was thinking what would be for Adam Silver. Mr. Silver, you know what it is. If you're seeing this is all just saying the teams of the NBA name of teams in Pittsburgh. I have Scorpions, Wolverines, Pitbulls, Panthers, Bridgemen, Hammers, Sledgehammers, Raptors, Force, Pipers. If you want to change the name, bring back the Pipers name. Ghost Bombers, Bumblebees, and Pelicans, right? So, what would it be for this? Put it in and I have my top 5 names for a Pittsburgh team, for an NBA team. So, what it is that these names, these have condors, all right? So, what would be they might just change the name for an airplane or something like the stealth or whatever it is, put it that way. I never put some other cool names that is related to an airplane or something like that, you know. Yeah, but yes, there is one name after an airplane or something like that, right? So the first teams that I want to say, that I have to say, the first one to say that one thing for expansion team, Scorpions. Well, if you know this is a cool ass name, right? So it would be the 76ers Scorpions rivalry, and that would be an awesome name because of I mean, you could remember the video game called Mortal Kombat. What does Scorpion, the ninja character, wears? Black and yellow. What is it? Black and yellow is Pittsburgh's own identity. It has it with the Pirates, it has it with the Penguins, and it has it with the Steelers in the NFL, right? So Scorpions is an awesome name. Next is Wolverines. I get it now. So I don't know if you've seen X-Men. I mean, Wolverines, but just different, black and yellow. The identity of what people from Pittsburghers or something like that are identified with black and yellow, just like Wiz Khalifa's song Black and Yellow. Their teams, Pitbulls. Well, this is something that I would say Pitbulls is another cool name, right? It's not an awesome name, right? So Pitbull is a dog, right? So you have a team named after a dog, right? So Pitbulls suits them. Pittsburgh Pitbulls, you know. Pitbulls 76ers rivalry coming from the same state. I mean, that might be happening, you know. This would be Pitbulls. Pitbulls is a good name, but this is just one of the list. Panthers, right? So that's another name. We already have a hockey team called Panthers, but this one is more like a Black Panther, black and yellow. You know, I don't know if it might be copying Puma or something like that, but hey, here we go. Panthers is another cool name, you know. So Peter Panther or something like that. Who knows? So Bridgman. All right. So this is one that I see in the YouTube, the Pittsburgh Bridgman, because of the bridges and stuff. I mean, that would be like a kind of an odd name or something like that. But hey, you know, you could name the team whatever team you want. But I have my top 5 lists, and this is just a list of teams that I would say. Hammers, right? It sounds awesome. You use hammers, but then a more of a cooler name instead of hammers, you have Sledgehammers. Why Sledgehammers? I think it's cool. I think it's an awesome name, Sledgehammers. I know it is a tool, but it's a bigger hammer. It's a sledgehammer. I mean, people in mining or whatever, like in the steel industry, maybe they use sledgehammers. Yeah, sledgehammers is kind of like a you know, pretty cool name. It's a, you know, very authentic, very slick name. You know, it's sounds pretty awesome. The Sledgehammers, right? That is a name that is on my top 5 list. So now relocating, and this is it that I have done in my previous video about relocating the Raptors. But this is where I would say this is my chance, as I would say this. What if I could say I have 1,000 subscribers, monetizing my videos, and with a help of a big YouTuber? It's a she, all right? So don't just mind me about this, but you know this. Raptors, relocating the Raptors from Toronto to Pittsburgh. I mean, 76ers Raptors rivalry. It sounds pretty awesome. So what it is changing the purple and red to black and yellow, right? So it's gonna look cool. It's gonna look awesome, you know. Raptors changing their uniforms, but then after all, but if I could just do the help, if I have gained 1,000 subscribers, more than 1,000 subscribers on the Embargo Man channel, and with a help with a big YouTuber, if this would be the situation that my idea of buying the Raptors and being a big YouTuber and being helped out from another big YouTuber, bringing the Raptors to the city of steel, I mean to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that I would say this. I'm just gonna say pure thing for words. If this big YouTuber, she gives it the green light on it, you know, the green light on this, just giving her the green light, you know, I mean, the people, the only difference is that what I'm gonna do if I own the Raptors team, I'm not gonna change the name. It's gonna say Raptors, but the only thing that changes is the city that they go to, bringing out the Huskies in Toronto. And then I would say that this is the last season. What I'm going to end up saying, if I could just do that and bring Raptors more championships, relocating them from Toronto to Pittsburgh, and me being the owner, I might just end up being a married man. Why I'm gonna end up being a married man? All right, so so this is gonna be kind of funny. It's kind of, even you YouTubers are watching this from your hometown, and I'm bringing and this is suggestions of bringing an NBA team to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? So if you might be shocked, right? So you might be shocked watching this video that if I just bring the Raptors from there, winning more champions by relocating in from Toronto to Pittsburgh, you know, having the big names, probably LeBron James might play his last seasons for the Raptors, relocating to Pittsburgh. What might happen if I would be the owner? I may end up being a married man, and probably my wife would be a blonde. Yeah, I may just being married to a blonde. I own the Raptors. I took them to the championships. I relocate them, and they win. They'll be more successful. Let's say like they might be greener pastures for the Raptors. The grass is greener in Pittsburgh than in Toronto. Then I will just might just do that if I could get 1,000 subscribers. But that's just the idea. But yes, the Raptors would relocate them from Toronto to Pittsburgh. It'll be an awesome idea, but with one condition, is to bring back a team from Canada that has been folded, known as the Huskies. Bring it back to life, you know, bring it back from the dead. I mean, you know, if you bring a team back from the dead, you know, it'll be awesome. And then Pittsburgh will have its team, and then it'll be awesome and cool for the Pittsburgh Raptors and Philadelphia 76ers rivalry would be very intense and would be cool, you know. And then the next team would be Force. This is somebody playing video games and says the Force. Yeah. So what would it be? The Force? Would you be what? Darth Vader or you know, Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader? Where it's going? The Force, right? Let the Force, the dark side of the Force or the light side of the Force, all right? So Star Wars stuff, Force, what the heck? You know, you're gonna, you know, if it were the Force, it would be looking badass, you know, like have a Star Wars baddie in there or something, you know. I mean, people might just come up with that and stuff, you know, the dark side, Darth Vader. Yeah, kind of like it kind of go mixing up with Force fans. Would toss it out to Steelers fans wearing a Darth Vader helmet. And from basketball to football, right? So next would be Pipers. This is another team that might say that NBA franchise. Same for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania would say, look, the Pipers. That's kind of like a silly name, but whoever comes up with that name in that, it was there. It was a team, probably the NBA or the owners who might say relocate a team. No, but it's gonna be a new team. But another team that might be relocating would be Charlotte. And there's just two names on this list that they might be renaming the Hornets, right? It'll be black and yellow too. But the name, what I would say, the Bumblebees. Why Bumblebees, right? So what it is with the Bumblebees are black and yellow. Put it that way. You're not referring to Charlotte Hornets to Pittsburgh Bumblebees. So that's what the bees colors are originally from. They're like bees, the bumblebees, right? So Pittsburgh Bumblebees. So like moving from Charlotte, North Carolina, like 3 cities. I mean, it was. I mean, from 2 cities. I'm like, this is not the old school Charlotte Hornets. This is the Hornets, once called or started as the Bobcats, right? So it would call Bobcats to Hornets, then to Bumblebees, right? Bumblebees. I mean, this is very unique history in it. Okay, what about the Pittsburgh Bumblebees? Awesome name. Another name that I think it would be my suggestions of saying, runner up or something like that would be the Ghost Bombers. Is this just about a plane, about a history of, I seen of a ghost bomber in like a warplane, like a beat coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Ghost Bombers. I mean, Ghost Bombers, that'll be an awesome name, but that will also be the Charlotte Hornets' other name change if the owner was thinking, oh yeah, the Ghost Bomber plane, let's just call it the Pittsburgh Ghost Bombers. Here we go, Ghost Bombers. Boom. That's it. And that's just the name. Ghost Bombers would be very cool. I mean, it would be awesome, an awesome name. But then on one team that will never change the name, it started from Charlotte Hornets. It moves to New Orleans. It was about to play some games in Oklahoma, but it moved from 2 places. The third place, it would stay the same, right? So New Orleans and their Pelicans, right? So it's kind of funny. We're gonna have 2 bird teams, one in hockey, one in basketball. But just saying this, it starts with a P, all right? So this Penguin starts with a P. Pelican starts with a P. So the story about that team, the Pelicans, it started as the old Charlotte Hornets. I haven't heard about the old Cleveland Browns in the NFL and football, right? So American football for you folks not living in outside the U.S. But saying from the Browns, the old Browns, or the Ravens and whatnot. But just put out the old Hornets. The old Hornets are the Pelicans, right? So they started in Charlotte. They moved to New Orleans, and then they signed a bird Pelican, right? Yes. That name ain't gonna change. It's gonna stay for 3, moving in 2 or 3 parts. Now we have an NBA team that was going to move from 3 cities. First is the old Hornets when they started in Charlotte, then move to New Orleans, and they called the Pelicans. Third move, Pittsburgh Pelicans. black and yellow, folks. Just the uniforms are gonna change. The same thing with Raptors from Toronto to Pittsburgh. Well, that's just another idea. I might just go to New Orleans. same concept, right? So that's my channel if I have 1,000 subscribers or monetized. Also, what are these? These names will be, I think that only one team might change the name. That would it be for my sake for saying Raptors. Raptors, if they move, they change their colors, and it's gonna stay Raptors, not Toronto Raptors, but Pittsburgh Raptors. One would be Pelicans. It changed the name. It was the old Hornets, but it's called Pelicans. They're going to stay Pelicans. They're going to be called, instead of calling New Orleans Pelicans, they're going to be called Pittsburgh Pelicans, right? So there is one team changing their colors without changing their name. Just the Raptors and the Pelicans are the only two teams in the NBA when they try to relocate from Toronto or from New Orleans to Pittsburgh is these only two teams that will never change their names, right? One, because it seems like a cool name, a raptor, a dinosaur from Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor. The other is it gets just called the Pelicans with a name if it's New Orleans were to plan to relocate their team. So it rhymes, Pelicans, Penguins, and just the only reasons that this in being in the same facility, that two bird teams, one from cold weather, one from warm weather. The bird from a cold weather might be a hockey team. The bird from a warmer weather might be the basketball team. If New Orleans decided to, so the person by the New Orleans Pelicans decided to relocate the Pelicans to Pittsburgh. And the Raptors, that's it. But my top five will be Scorpions, Wolverines, Pitbulls, Sledgehammers, and Panthers, right? So this is where I have my top 5 teams for Pittsburgh NBA franchise. So Adam Silver needs to put that in mind. If not, I have to do it myself, get one of the NBA teams and relocate them. So this is about it. If it's just like the same thing that happened with this guy who bought the Sonics, and when he bought the Sonics, I think it was Philman or something. He bought the Sonics, and what he did, he moved the Sonics to Oklahoma City. The people right there in Seattle got pissed off. So, this might happen to me with Toronto. People will get pissed off at me. I'm gonna be the one being thrown tomatoes at, right? So, what it is that. So, this it is what it is. But for Charlotte, it's gonna be with the same situation with the Sonics. They are from calling first the from Sonics to OKC, to Oklahoma City Thunder. The same with the same with the Hornets. The previous Hornet, the actual Hornets, they already changed from Bobcats, then Hornets, then it would change either to Bumblebees or Ghost Bombers. Either of those two names. Ghost Bomber might probably seems like a cooler name, like a more unique name, man, more sleek, man. This is awesome. Ghost Bombers. Yeah, but yeah, those are the two names that would the Charlotte Hornets were to relocate it. So, and then this is what I have. Scorpions is one of my number 1 pick of my top 5. Wolverines. Wolverines, well, they are both black and yellow. Scorpions, because you know, you're playing the Mortal Kombat, or what it is with Scorpions is black and yellow. But Wolverines is also another name, right? So Wolverines will be a name for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh. Black and yellow, folks. It is what it is. And then Pitbulls. Pitbulls is my other choice for my top 5 pick names for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh. Pitbulls is named after dogs, you know, like here in Miami, Florida is not allowed to have a pit bull dog, right? But pit bulls seem very vicious. They're very vicious dogs. I mean, people can't take them as pets and whatever, you know, they don't harm you as long as you don't bug them. And there's like, oh yeah, pit bulls. I mean, it seems like a vicious dog, right? Pit bulls is a cool name. Pittsburgh Pit Bulls. That's another name in my list. But hey, it's just a team named after dogs. I mean, would be awesome. The next one is Sledgehammers. I know Hammers is a good name, but Sledgehammers, yes, it is a tool, but Sledgehammer seems like an awesome name. It sounds awesome. The Pittsburgh Sledgehammers sounds awesome. It is an awesome name. I picked that name over Hammers, Sledgehammers, because mine just probably used Sledgehammers, you know, Sledgehammers, Pittsburgh Sledgehammers, right? So, and the next one will be a cat name, Panthers. Panthers, why? Because, I mean, it would be odd that a team from Pennsylvania will have a team called Panthers. And what it is with Panthers, even though the teams are black and yellow, you have the mascot is a panther, Peter Panther or something like that. It's a black panther, black and yellow, right? So this is how it is. It's black and yellow. That's what Pittsburgh identified their sports teams. It is in their Pirates, it is in the Penguins, it is in the Steelers, right? So an NBA team, because the names that I have on list, Scorpions, Wolverines, Pitbulls, Sledgehammers, and Panthers are my top 5 names for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh. Adam Silver, you see the names? Probably if you look at it, please bring one. Even if you have to relocate a team from these 3 cities. One will have a name change. Raptors, we're gonna say Raptors. Pelicans are gonna say Pelicans. But the Hornets would be relocated, would change its name to either Bumblebees or Ghost Bombers, right? So the top 5 on the list, if you want Scorpions, Wolverines, Pitbulls, Sledgehammers, or Panthers for the perfect name, those are my top 5 names for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh, please write me in the comments. But if they're not given a green light, so this is what I do if none of these teams or no team in no NBA franchise in Pittsburgh would be, you know what, I might just say 1,000 subscribers. I would just hook up with a big YouTuber over this one. I will get the Raptors. The name's gonna stay with the condition if I could talk to Adam Silver about relaunching the Huskies, another dog name team, and say, you know what, I'm moving the Raptors. I might just saying moving the Raptors from Toronto to Pittsburgh, and this is where I end up being a married man. I mean, being a married man because I might be married to a YouTuber, right? So that's where I go, and that's where my focus is, right? As long as I have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, if that is my thing, right? If not, I might just go for the Pelicans, right? New Orleans Pelicans, right? I mean, to call it Pittsburgh Pelicans. If there is a hard time, if Toronto would say, give me a pain in the ass, right? So, I mean, they're just investor, whatever. I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find it, like like black and yellow, like their uniforms will be named from a company that makes condiments. Probably Heinz ketchup. Yep, and probably, if I could say this, my top 5 names. Please comment me those. Which names do you want to see from Scorpions, Wolverines, Pittsburgh, Pitbulls, Sledgehammers, and Panthers for an NBA franchise in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? And yet you said, but if this ain't happening, I hope you subscribe to my channel on Embargo Man. Hit the bell button. Wait for the next video to see what's next that I'm going to be in Embargo Man. And let me tell you this, one thing for sure: if they don't bring one team, I would definitely move a team or relocate a team, whatever it is, because I think buying a team is money. It's a lot of money. But then having the 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel to support me on this, I will do it. I am going to do it. If that is the possibility, I will. I might be just saying, okay, New Orleans, if Toronto will give me a pain in the ass. If not, I might just saying, yeah, hang out with a bunch of millionaires and stuff, because I mean, money talks, BS walks. That is true. It happened to the Sonics. It might happen to Toronto. And might just saying money talks, BS walks. So, but there's one only condition in my case. In my case would be relaunch the Huskies. There I could just with ease move the Raptors to Pittsburgh and say, if I just make it better as a relocating the Raptors, I might just say I'm a married man if I could do that. All right, so peace out, goodbye, and please subscribe to my channel, and see you on the next video on Embargo Man.